This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 12th day of February in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Following the bomb threats that forced the University of Guyana to cancel classes for 3 days last week, the university's administration is now making moves to further boost security at the Turkine campus. UG's Vice Chancellor Dr. Ivelaw Griffith told reporters yesterday that more security checks will be done on persons seeking to enter the campus. He said the checks will be random.
Complete stop and search requires a certain size of establishment, requires a certain amount of training. We don't have all that is requisite to be able to do complete search and seizure verification. So we'll be introducing some randomness. We're not going to stop every car that comes in. That is going to have a lot of long lines, among other things. So we'll be doing on a random basis, knowing that even with the randomness, the training adequate for full searches is not there, not as yet.
The Vice Chancellor also said that while the university does not have a campus police system, it will be looking to have more security guards in place, but more training will have to be done.
Our university does not have its own police security force. We have a number of wardens, but most of our security establishment is outsourced Massey security. And so we have to begin the conversation with Massey about required strength when we were to move to that. And we'll have to have the conversation with Massey and our own folks about appropriate training. You don't want to start that and just people do all sorts of things under the guise of looking for stuff. So we have to have the appropriate training and the appropriate protocol for those security forces, those security service providers as well, as our own folks.
Yesterday, a 25-year-old University of Guyana student was charged in connection with the bomb threats. She has been remanded to jail. The threats at the university followed those made against a number of private and public schools, also forcing the cancellation of classes. Deputy Police Commissioner and Crime Chief Lyndon Alves explained yesterday that Guyana has been seeking assistance to track down those making the online threats from sources outside of the country.
We are not only working in isolation as a Guyana police force, we are looking to have information from other agencies, one, and we are also looking at our counterparts both regionally and internationally for assistance. Based on what return, well then that will inform us on the way forward.
As the investigations into a number of the cases are ongoing. More news coming up in just a moment.
Hello, baby. Yeah.
It's knocked away from Yang Huang.
Yo, why you gotta get away from the credit, buddy? I recommend that you for blah blah. Let you actually get, but it's not you that buy back the credit when it's done. Buy back because she money for five.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Wait. So who we putting as we Fab 5?
Yours.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance, and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
This match day, February 23rd, Hits and Jams Entertainment brings you an event like no other. Sunrise Brunch Party. The first of its kind in Guyana. The day starts off with a delicious brunch served from 10 a.m., followed by the day party with the best lineup of DJs. Shizzle, Diamond, Sia, Ryan, and Energy at the Everest Cricket Ground. Sunrise Brunch Edition brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment. Stay tuned for more details.
Welcome back. Officials of the Carter Center are in Guyana on a fact-finding mission about the preparations for elections by the Guyana Elections Commission. Yesterday, the team met and held discussions with the Guyana Elections Commission. The chairman and chief elections officer attended that meeting along with the opposition-nominated members of the commission. The Carter Center also met and held discussions with a delegation from the coalition government. The Minister of State headed that meeting that also brought together the general secretaries of the PNC and the Alliance for Change, as well as the political advisor for the coalition. The team is likely to also meet with the opposition leader. Last Friday, the chief elections officer said it is impossible for elections to be called by March 19th. He said the earliest date that elections could be called would be a date in July, but the timeline is dependent on the commission putting its secretariat in full operations mode to begin preparations. The opposition PPP wants elections in March, pointing out that the elections should be held within 3 months following the passage of a no-confidence motion. The Constitution also allows the National Assembly to agree to a date beyond the 3 months once there is approval from 2/3 of the House. Turning now to the energy sector, the Department of Energy is hoping that with its new template for production sharing agreements, Guyana will get greater benefits in future oil contracts. At a press conference yesterday, the head of the Department of Energy announced that a template for the production sharing agreements has been finalized, and while there will be competitive bidding for the remaining oil blocks, the new production sharing agreements will ensure Guyana benefits more.
The new template will definitely have more favorable terms, if one wishes to put it that way, for Guyana. But everything has to be contextualized. When that PSA started, for example, the risk involved was significantly higher than they are today. Therefore, the greater the risk, one would also expect the greater the returns. As a result, going forward, and we have a lot more knowledge now than we had then, we are able to have conditions that are a lot more favorable to Guyana, which is what we've been saying. So from that perspective, there will be improvements going forward, but it's like, where we are today in terms of almost anything you wish to speak of, whether it be economic development, whether it be our own advancement, as we acquire more knowledge, conditions will change, or the word we like to use, the contracts would evolve.
With regard to the existing contract with the Exxon company, Dr. Bino said there will not be another renegotiation. He explained that for there to be a renegotiation, both parties would have to be pushing for that.
That it does respect sanctity of contract. We have gone over this multiple times, and the implications for renegotiation are many. Let's start out by first looking broadly at what renegotiation means. To renegotiate, you have to have two parties who are willing to negotiate. It's not just an issue of Guyana deciding it wants to renegotiate, and it proceeds in that direction. Secondly, renegotiation will also impact investors' confidence in terms of whether the rule of law is being adhered to or being followed. And so we are not discussing renegotiation. As we have been on record as indicating, we continue to engage with Exxon and other operators to ensure that what Guyana receives is its maximum possible value proposition from the resources that and based on the contract that it has signed.
The Exxon company is continuing its oil exploration activities in Guyana's waters, having already made 12 discoveries over the past 4 years. A number of other companies that already have a license to operate are set to begin their exploration activities soon. The Guyana oil company GUYANESE has rubbished a report in the Guyana Times about the quality of its fuel and has rejected what it called the reckless conjecture contained in the article, and wishes to reassure its customers and the public that fuel sold by the company is subjected to rigorous quality control tests and is certified to have met all required specifications. GUYANESE said contrary to the claims made by the article, it has not received any reports from its customers or franchise holders which indicate that they have been experiencing challenges in the operation of their vehicles as a result of fuel purchased from its service stations. The company has indicated that it has instructed its lawyers to begin legal action against the editors and publisher of the Guyana Times for the unsubstantiated accusation. Last week, Guyol announced a reduction in fuel prices. Some customers of Guyol and other fuel stations have been complaining about the odor of the fuel at times, but they have not pointed to any other issue with their vehicles. Let's tell you now that former country manager of Guyana Goldfields, Violet Smith, is not happy with the way the company has parted ways with her, and she said she felt disrespected by the company's actions. Smith, who was one of the founders of the Canadian-owned company, told the 94.1 FM morning show on Monday that she learned of her position being made redundant via a press release.
I think it was very unfair. I think it was disrespectful, you know. I felt it was disrespectful.
Guyana Goldfields is currently negotiating her exit package. An offer was made to her by the company's new senior vice president, former U.S. Ambassador Perry Holloway. But Smith said she made it clear to him that as someone who served the company for over 20 years, she did not feel that he should be the person pitching an offer to her when he has been on the job for just 2 weeks. Holloway was appointed to the senior position at the company just after he wrapped up his diplomatic posting in Guyana and retired from the U.S. Foreign Service. Reflecting on the company over the years, the former country manager, Violet Smith, said she is proud of what she was able to build, and she will now attempt to do that again by starting another gold mining company.
I'm a geologist, and I do what I always do, and that is, at the moment, started a new exploration company, and just trying to build that and roll that out the same way that this one started. It's like you get a baby, you have a baby and you start it and you grow it, and then, so there's a grieving process, don't let's deny that. Like it's something that we've started from the very beginning, where there were no roads, we put all those things in.
Smith noted that while she was surprised with the company's handling of her exit, she had indications that it had planned to move in a different direction. Guyana Goldfields last week announced that it had made Smith's position redundant with immediate effect and had also promoted a number of persons while hiring new staff. Company officials have said that the company remains sound and will continue with its mining development for the gold sector in Guyana. Regional and international news is coming up next.
Nobody on the post there. Looking too costly. Yes, it is. But I'm not saying just get a header. Oh, no, that's some save, isn't it?
Let's Bet Sports. Take your game to a whole new level. You decide. Your game, your bet type, your bet amount. Guyana Lottery Companies, Let's Bet Sports. Be part of the game.
Get ready to ride it, ride it. Ready to ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride the wave. Open up the new vibe, drink up the boldness inside. Radical and fresh and wild. Catch the wave now. Ride bold, ride fresh, ride strong. Come on, ride the wave. Taste the action, satisfaction, perfection. Wave, 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 wave,
Ride the new wave of excitement sweeping Guyana. Wave Pale Ale, a premium, full-bodied, strong and refreshing alcoholic brew, crafted to perfection for a bold, young, radical you. Don't settle for anything less. Catch a Wave Pale Ale and ride it today.
Wave Pale Ale.
Crafted to perfection.
Welcome back. Across the region right now, the Caribbean Development Bank is ramping up its research activity to help regional governments better tackle challenges related to environmental sustainability, economic and fiscal resilience, and implementation. CDB's Director of Economics, Dr. Justin Ram, made the announcement last week in Barbados. The director stressed the urgent need for reform and action to build macroeconomic resilience, environmental sustainability, productivity and competitiveness, and human capacity, a position outlined in the bank's study entitled A Policy Blueprint for Caribbean Economies. Turning now to Belize, the government there says it is working towards addressing the unpleasant stench that is affecting the residents in the capital, and it has blamed the wastewater emanating from several industries operating within close proximity to each other. The Department of the Environment in Belize says it is working to address the odor affecting the quality of air and daily lives of residents. The department said that along with the Public Health Department, it has been working on the issue with the key industries in the area and had previously met with management personnel of each industry and recommended short-term and medium-term solutions to the stench problem. And finally, international news. Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman has been found guilty on all 10 counts of his drug trafficking trial at the federal court in New York. 61-year-old Guzman was convicted on numerous counts, including the distribution of cocaine and heroin, illegal firearms possession, and money laundering. He has yet to be sentenced, but the verdict could mean life in jail. Guzman was arrested in January 2016 after escaping from a Mexican prison through a tunnel 5 months earlier. He was extradited to the US in 2017. Tuesday's unanimous verdict by a jury in Brooklyn, which was read out in a packed courtroom, followed an 11-week trial. Guzman, wearing a dark suit jacket and tie, showed no visible sign of emotion as the verdict was announced, CBS News reported. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.